Imagine walking down a busy street in Barcelona on a hot summer day. Suddenly, you are splashed with water. This is the recent reality of Barcelona, where locals welcome you with water guns, shouting, "Go home." This isn't exactly the warm welcome you expected from the famously hospitable Spanish city, is it? But guess what? Barcelona's struggle with overtourism is not unique. Across the globe, popular destinations are grappling with similar challenges. Now picture flash floods devastating India's Himalayas. The situation is only made worse by overdevelopment to accommodate increasing tourist numbers. These contrasting scenes show us the picture of the complex world of overtourism, a phenomenon that is reshaping destinations across the globe. Now let's get started to understand this emerging issue. To understand the scale of the problem, let's take a whirlwind tour of some of these hotspots, starting with the iconic Taj Mahal in India. A symbol of eternal love, this historical monument is also facing this modern problem. In 2023, the monument welcomed a staggering 4.8 million visitors. This surge has led to concerns about the preservation of the 17th century mausoleum. The Archaeological Survey of India has implemented strict time limits for visitors and increased entry fee to manage the crowds. Yet the sheer volume of tourists continue to pose a threat to the delicate marble structure. Experts have warned that there could be irreversible damage if the number of visitors is not controlled. Now moving from the plains to the hills, let's consider Shimla. The city of Shimla is also facing its own challenges due to overcrowding. In the summer of 2023, over 20,000 tourist vehicles entered the city daily. This far exceeds its capacity of just 5,000. This influx has led to traffic congestion, water scarcity, and waste management problems, fundamentally altering the city's social fabric. Next, let's climb to new heights, literally. What happens when the world's highest peak becomes a tourist hotspot? Yes, Nepal's Mount Everest, once the ultimate challenge for elite mountaineers, has now become a victim of its own allure. In 2023, a record-breaking 600 people reached the summit during the spring climbing season. This influx has led to dangerous overcrowding on the slopes of the mountain. Images of long queues of climbers near the summit even went viral. It has indeed highlighted the perils of overtourism in one of the world's most extreme environments. Noticing this, the Nepalese government has since introduced new rules which include a ban on single-use plastics and stricter permit requirements. This is done as an attempt to address both safety concerns and the mounting problem of waste at the world's highest peak. These rising incidents underscore the global nature of the over-tourism crisis. From urban centers to natural wonders, the challenge of managing over-tourism are becoming increasingly complex and urgent. Now, to truly understand over-tourism, we need to look into its root causes. It's a phenomenon born from the perfect storm of multitude of factors, each contributing to the overwhelming influx of visitors that some destinations are struggling to manage. Now, I'm sure that at some point in your life, each one of you has posted a vacation photo on social media. You might be contributing to over-tourism without even realizing it. In an age where pics or it didn't happen is the mantra, Instagram-worthy locations have become the holy grail of travel. Take the case of Kedarnath in India. This sacred Hindu shrine in the Himalayas has seen a staggering increase in visitors to 1.5 million after the pandemic. This was largely fueled by its popularity on Instagram. This digital-driven tourism has created a new breed of travelers seeking the perfect shot, often at the expense of truly experiencing a destination's spiritual and cultural richness. But social media is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's understand what are the other factors that are at play. Another significant factor is the rise of budget travel options, which has led to a surge in tourist numbers that many destinations were ill prepared to handle. Goa, for instance, saw tourist arrivals increase from 7.1 million in 2019 to over 10 million in 2023-24. Moreover, the growing middle class in India has further fueled this trend. More people than ever now have the means to explore popular destinations. Have you noticed how places that were once considered off the beaten path are now very easily accessible? Improved infrastructure is another factor that has played a key role specifically in making previously remote locations more accessible. While this development is positive in many ways, it can also lead to an influx of visitors in areas unprepared for mass tourism. India's rich cultural heritage and diverse landscapes naturally attract visitors, but the concentration of tourists at iconic sites like the Taj Mahal or in ecologically sensitive areas like the Lakshadweep Islands can lead to over-tourism. Moreover, seasonal tourism such as the summer rush to hill stations like Manali exaggerates these issues during peak periods. Now that we understand the causes, let's explore the consequences. How is over-tourism changing the places we love? The consequences of over-tourism are as varied as they are concerning. Environmental degradation is a major issue, with popular natural sites facing erosion, pollution, and habitat disruption. For example, in Rajasthan's Ranthambore National Park, the increasing number of safari vehicles has disturbed the habitat of tigers. Authorities have implemented a cap on the number of vehicles allowed per day. According to the current Ranthambore Tiger Safari booking policy, only 20 jeeps of 6-seaters and 20 canter of 20-seaters are allowed to enter the national park in one shift. But it's not just nature that's at risk. What about the soul of a place, its culture and its traditions? Cultural erosion is another significant concern, as intangible as it is profound. Imagine the diverse traditions slowly fading, replaced by a more homogeneous, tourist-friendly version. This is the fear in religious cities including Varanasi, with this growing concern about the commercialization of spiritual experiences. The ghats, once primarily used for religious rituals, now see a mix of tourists and pilgrims. This raises questions about preserving the sanctity and authenticity of these sacred spaces while still welcoming visitors. Now let's talk money. Surely tourism is good for the economy, right? Well, it's not that simple. The impacts here, while often touted as a benefit of tourism, can be a double-edged sword. While tourism contributes significantly to India's GDP, over-reliance on this sector can make regional economies vulnerable to shocks. For instance, Goa's economy, heavily dependent on tourism, saw a 14.3% contraction in the financial year 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This highlights the need for economic diversification in tourist-heavy regions. But what about the flip side of this coin? While some destinations are drowning in tourists, others are desperate for visitors. How do we balance this? Consider the case of Dholavira in Gujarat. It is an ancient Harappan city site with UNESCO World Heritage status. Despite this, it struggles to attract visitors due to its remote location. This underscores a crucial point. Tourism, when managed sustainably, can be a powerful tool for economic rejuvenation and cultural preservation. As we navigate through these examples, it becomes clear that over-tourism is a complex, multifaceted issue with no one-size-fits-all solution. It's a Gordian knot of competing interests and unintended consequences. The challenge lies in finding innovative ways to manage visitor flows, protect cultural and natural heritage, and ensure that tourism benefits local communities without overwhelming them. It requires a delicate balance between reaping the benefits of tourism and preserving the very essence that makes these destinations special. So, what's the way forward? How can we enjoy the wonders of the world without loving them to death? Innovative approaches being implemented around the world. Firstly, destination management needs to evolve. For instance, in Hampi, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, authorities have implemented measures to protect the archaeological site and manage visitor flow. Local authorities introduced a differential pricing system, significantly increasing the entry fee for foreign tourists from 500 to 600 rupees, while keeping it relatively affordable for domestic visitors at 50 rupees. Additionally, they enforced stricter regulations on vehicle access within the heritage area, promoting eco-friendly transportation options like bicycles and electric vehicles. This approach aims to balance tourism revenue with preservation efforts for the 1600 surviving remains of the Vijayanagar Empire, which attracted over 1.5 million visitors in 2022. Likewise, Sikkim has implemented a pioneering no plastic policy for tourism. The state banned the use of plastic water bottles and styrofoam products in 2016, promoting eco-friendly alternatives. This policy has significantly reduced plastic waste in tourist areas and set an example for sustainable tourism practices. Now coming to policy-based interventions, policymakers have a critical role to play. Here, Bhutan's high-value, low-volume tourism model offers valuable insights. The country charges a daily tourist fee of $200 to $250, which includes accommodation, food, transport, and a contribution to social projects. This approach has helped Bhutan maintain its cultural integrity and environmental sustainability while still benefiting from tourism. A small price to pay for preserving paradise, don't you think? Lastly, we need to rethink our approach to measuring tourism success. India's Ministry of Tourism is moving beyond visitor numbers to include metrics like community benefit and cultural preservation in its tourism assessments. The Incredible India 2.0 campaign focuses on promoting sustainable and experiential tourism, emphasizing quality over quantity. Over-tourism requires nuanced, collaborative approaches, but with innovative thinking, responsible policies, and a shift in traveler mindset, we can hope to preserve the world's wonders for future generations while still enjoying the transformative power of travel. So the next time you plan a trip, pause for a moment before planning your journey. After all, the most memorable journeys are often those that leave a positive mark not just on our lives but on the places and people we encounter along the way.